everyone around me kicked my ass for many, many years. That's Lance Breitstein, a trader who's made 8 figures in single years, mentored some of the best prop traders in the world, and is considered one of the sharpest minds in modern trading. But here's the thing. Lance almost quit. He was the worst trader in his class. While everyone around him was making money, he was barely breaking even. He watched traders with less experience pull ahead. He questioned if he had what it took. And then he became the #1 trader at his firm. What changed? Not his strategy, not some secret indicator. It was something completely different, and it's probably the exact mindset shift you need right now. When people hear Lance Breitstein, they think elite performance, massive P&L, top-tier execution. But Lance's first years? In his own words, a very slow start. I made almost no money in the beginning. He was training at Trillium Capital, one of the most respected prop firms in the world. Full-time training, daily mentorship, firm capital, real-time feedback. The best possible environment to learn trading. And yet, he struggled. Some traders in his class were naturals. They seemed to get it immediately. They were pulling consistent profits while Lance was still trying to figure out basic setups. He remembers thinking, am I just not cut out for this? Is everyone else naturally better than me? It got so bad that he seriously considered walking away. He started considering other alternatives until one of his mentors stopped him and said, I can see you're improving. Give it a little more time. That conversation saved his career. Because what Lance didn't realize yet was that slow progress isn't failure, it's the foundation of mastery. Here's one of the most important lessons Lance teaches. Real progress takes way longer than you think. Even in an elite prop environment with full-time training, daily coaching, firm capital, and constant feedback, it still takes 2 full years before most traders become consistently profitable. 2 years, best case scenario. And if you're learning retail, part-time, with limited or no coaching, 3 to 4 years is completely normal. Not a failure, not a sign you lack talent, just reality. Yet most traders quit after 3 months, 6 months, 1 bad year. Why? Lance is brutally honest. Social media has created toxic expectations. You scroll through Twitter or YouTube and see nothing but winning trades, highlight reels, and overnight success stories. You start comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10, and you think you're behind. But here's what Lance wants you to understand. Progress isn't about how fast you move compared to others. It's about how consistently you improve compared to who you were yesterday. That's it. That's the game. So, if Lance was behind at the start, how did he eventually dominate? The answer wasn't a strategy. It wasn't a secret setup. It wasn't a magic indicator. It was volume, repetition, practice, and something he calls intentional, relentless improvement. After he finally started becoming consistent, he didn't relax. He didn't reduce his effort. He didn't take a victory lap. Instead, he says, for over 10 years, I spent almost every single Sunday in the office reviewing and studying. Every single Sunday. That's the part most people miss. Slow progress doesn't magically become fast progress. Slow progress becomes exponential progress when you show up relentlessly. Lance turned thousands of small improvements into a massive edge, and eventually he became the #1 trader in his firm. Not because he was the most naturally gifted, but because he refused to stop improving. Most traders think progress feels like this. Winning streaks, instant clarity, sudden breakthroughs. But for Lance, progress looked like months of frustration, tiny improvements, understanding one concept at a time, reviewing more losses than wins, showing up even when results weren't there. He teaches that progress feels painfully slow until one day it suddenly compounds. That's how every skill works. Weightlifting, chess, coding, and especially trading. You don't notice the improvement until it becomes undeniable. Think about learning to drive. The first time you got behind the wheel, you had to think about everything. The mirrors, the pedals, the steering, your speed. It felt overwhelming. But now, you don't even think about it. You just drive. Trading is the same. The patterns that confuse you today will become automatic tomorrow if you keep showing up. Lance repeatedly warns traders about obsessing over P&L. He says this is one of the biggest killers of progress, especially for retail traders. When you're trading your own money, you're emotionally attached. You're afraid of losing. You're focused on outcomes. And that obsession warps your decision-making. Instead, Lance wants traders to ask one question every day. How do I get 1% better today? That's it. You don't need massive jumps. You need small, consistent gains that compound. Process, not outcome. As Lance puts it, your job is simply to get a little better each day. The rest will take care of itself. One of Lance's most famous psychological rules, your best trades immediately go in your favor. This idea helps traders avoid holding weak positions, adding to losers, marrying a bias, inventing reasons to stay in bad setups. If a trade starts fighting you, it's usually not a great trade. If a trade starts working instantly, you're aligned with real momentum and real demand. This simple rule saved him from unnecessary losses, and it can save you from overthinking.
Lance explains that retail traders make one huge mistake. They think trading is about ideas. But ideas alone have no edge. Edge comes from setups, chart patterns, volume behavior, catalysts, context, and statistical repetition. He explains that elite traders aren't trading ideas, they're trading pattern recognition combined with context. Ideas are guesses, patterns are probabilities, and trading is a numbers game. Every trader wants to size up quickly, but Lance compares this to the gym. If you try to lift too heavy too soon, you get injured, and that injury can set you back 6 months or even a year. Trading is the same. If you size up too fast, blow up, or take a huge drawdown, you set your progress back by months or even years, and psychologically, you can scar yourself. The right path is slow, steady, progressive overload. Push yourself slightly, but never recklessly. Lance's journey proves something most traders don't want to hear. The slowest starters often become the strongest finishers. Because slow progress forces you to build discipline, master the basics, understand your weaknesses, respect risk, and never feel entitled to profits. Lance wasn't the fastest learner. He wasn't the most naturally gifted, and he didn't pick up trading instantly like social media claims some people do. He did it the real way, showing up every day, improving consistently, and refusing to quit during the years where nothing made sense. Your trading journey will be the same. If you're in the slow part right now, that's not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're on the exact path every real trader has walked. The question isn't whether you're progressing fast enough. The question is, will you still be here in 2 years? Because if you will, you're already ahead of 95% of traders who quit too early. Stay in the game, trust the process, and remember Lance's story the next time you feel like you're falling behind.